Welcome to a really cool wrestling podcast.
Welcome back to a really cool wrestling podcast. And on today's episode, it is the Royal Rumble today. So we're going to do our predictions and we're going to do our top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time. I am your host, Brian California, and with me, my best friend, Adrian.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Yeah, I don't got a nickname for you. I was trying to think of a nickname on the fly.
I'll learn one. It's all right.
Yeah, dude, the A-Train, dude. I don't know. Prince Albert, baby.
Prince Albert.
Yeah. So, yeah, dude, Royal Rumble today, man. And just real quick, we're driving, so you're gonna hear some tire screeching and honking because he's not a really good driver. Anyway, yeah. So we're doing our predictions, man. Royal Rumble, big one. This is the start of the WWE playoffs. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of what it is. It's a wild card weekend.
It's a Triple H era Royal Rumble.
Yeah, we're gonna see how this goes. Because, he's got full reins, and we'll see what he does. But let's start off with the Royal Rumble. We'll start off with the women. I haven't really been kind of to be fair. I haven't really been all up to date on what's going on with the women. I know who the champions are, but I'm not sure storyline wise where this could go. So I'm just gonna make wild predictions. But, yeah, so, in your opinion, man, who's winning the Women's Royal Rumble?
I'd say it's Charlotte. That's like the obvious giveaway. And I think the WWE wants a big WrestleMania match for the women, too. I think Charlotte and Rhea to tear it up pretty good.
Yeah.
Top 2 women as far as like the last 10 years.
That'd be fun, man. Yeah, that's like Roman Lesnar, you know?
Yeah, something big. I mean, I'm not too in tune with what's going on with the women. I'm just assuming they want a big match for WrestleMania.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's probably my guess. I think that was the one where it's a little obvious that her coming back and them needing like a top name superstar in a main event spot. So
I think whether she wins or not, she'll have a title match. I think if she doesn't win, I think she'll win that elimination chamber match.
I'll tell you what we don't need: Nia Jax anywhere near the WWE ever again.
No.
Call me a hater, but
no, I mean,
I can't
she's a big
with her.
girl, but she's got no real star power.
There's nothing to her, man.
Really interesting about her
at all. Like I don't understand the push. She gets constant pushes, and it's like maybe she's gotten slightly better, but it's very minimal. Not enough for me to like her in big spots. You can put her in spots, just like keep her away from the main event.
I mean, all she's got is her size kind of going for her.
Yeah.
So nothing really exciting about her.
Yeah. So I just need her not. Surprise entrances though. I keep hearing AJ Lee might be a possibility.
That'd be cool. Is she not signed anywhere else?
She hasn't wrestled in forever.
Oh, okay.
So, and she's CM Punk's wife.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know how that goes. So, AJ Lee, man, that could be a possibility. Jordan Grace just signed with WWE, so Jordan Grace is probably going to be in this. Former TNA World Champion, Women's Champion. And Nikki Bella keeps popping up. So there's a few of them.
I heard she's going through a divorce. Maybe she's ready to come back. You know?
Yeah, there's a few of them.
A little spot.
I guess Charlotte's kind of the obvious answer, right? Is there any surprises that could possibly happen? Is there
maybe Becky?
Yeah, that's another one I was thinking too.
Yeah, as far as winning it, I think Bayley will do good in there. I'd go with Charlotte for now.
Yeah, Charlotte's probably the answer. Realistically, I don't see anybody else in a big Mania main event spot that can hold it down. You kind of need your true and tested, top females up there. But we also have a title. Moving on along the card, we also have a title match. We have the Winged Eagle champion, which is KO. I don't know if he's technically a champion, but
He's got a belt.
And Cody, who is Cody Rhodes, who is our WWE Universal Champion. I don't know what the actual names of these titles are anymore because they've changed them so many times. But is he the WWE Universal Champion? Is that what it is?
That's what he took from Roman.
Okay. Well, then
that's what he is until he bring a new belt,
Yeah, so he's a WWE Universal Champion. Where do you see this playing out?
Oh, no, Undisputed Champion.
Undisputed
Champion.
Whatever it is, man.
Yeah.
He's the champion. He's the A champion. This is the A belt.
The varsity belt.
This is the varsity belt.
Okay.
How do you see this playing out, man?
I think he retains it.
You think he retains it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm Triple H. He's a different dude. Have Cody hold the belt for an entire year. I don't know, man. I just thinking about it, the way I've been really kind of mapping this out for me. This ties into who I think is going to win the Rumble, but I think KO's going to win, man. And I think they're gonna have that new leaked belt that came out, that winged belt that was supposed to be like a mesh up of the two belts.
Yeah,
and,
I did see that actually.
So I think KO takes it.
I mean, he's got a lot of momentum. I just think if he loses, it's got to be for a reason. It's got to build something up too for him.
Right. So I'm trying to think that, because yes, obviously, anything that happens in the Rumble is going to lead up to what's going to happen at Mania.
Yeah.
So
I mean, the only thing is, if Cody doesn't win, let's say Cody does lose, and he's not a part of the Rumble, what happens to him for WrestleMania?
Yeah, so that's my thing. I'm kind of curious on where they turn him if he does not win the title, or if he does not retain the title. Where does he go? And that's kind of the only thing that's throwing me off.
Yeah. You'd figure he's got to have some kind of tie-in to the winner of the Royal Rumble in some kind of way.
Yeah.
If it goes that route.
There's a tag match that I really don't care about, so I think DIY is going to win.
Yeah, I think DIY will retain.
So it will just go right past that, and then we'll do I think what is the main event, right? The men's Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
This could go a lot of different ways. This is the one that I think it's become. At first, you think about it, you go, oh, it's obviously going to be this guy, and then you're like, wait, but it could also obviously be this guy.
Yeah.
So they've put themselves in a good spot to where there's not really a predictable winner this year, and I think that makes it way more exciting, because in years past we've had where Cody was obviously going to win the Rumble and stuff like that. So I think this year makes it more exciting.
Yeah.
First, before we say who we think is going to win, who do you think is going to be the final four?
Oh, I think it'll be Cena. I think it'll be Roman, CM Punk, and Jey Uso.
Ooh, so
yeah,
I'm right there with you, except I'm switching out Uso and Sami Zayn.
Okay.
Because spoiler alert, I think Sami Zayn's gonna win this.
Okay.
I just think it's like.
So you're taking KO winning and Sami not cashing in. Sami challenging KO
at Mania and winning his first world title against his best friend at Mania.
Wow. That's good Triple H booking right there.
Bro, it's just it's starting to it's like a tornado, bro. It's formulating, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's formulating, and I think it's a possibility. Now would I bet money on it? I don't know if I'd bet money on it. This is kind of more me fantasy booking and hoping this is what happens.
Yeah.
If I was a betting man, I think my money would be on Cena.
I don't know. Because if Cena wins, then he doesn't do Elimination Chamber, which means we've already seen the last John Cena Elimination Chamber match.
Yeah, that's also why I keep leaning towards Sami Zayn.
I think Cena's gonna come close every single time and come up short
until he gets a spot.
Until what I think is he wins Money in the Bank.
Oh.
I think he comes up short at the Rumble, comes up short at the Elimination Chamber.
So you don't think he does Mania main event?
I don't think he does the main event, no.
Oh.
I think he'll have a big match.
I think it has to end with him at the end of it all holding the title. But I think the problem with it is the main event for this year might not even have a title attached to it.
Yeah, and you know what? To go on what you said about KO, I think the WWE could afford the KO Sammy title match if your main event's not going to be a title match anyway.
Yeah.
So why not throw that in there?
Yeah. So that's why I keep leaning towards Sammy, because I don't think it will be the final match of the two nights. I think the obvious final match of the two nights is going to end up being Roman and The Rock for the shells.
For the
necklace. For the red necklace. I guess WWE is the only one that really fights for jewelry these days.
Yeah. So I was thinking about my Final Four. Like I said, Cena, I think he comes up short just because I think they're going to go that route. You know, he hasn't won a match in years. I think Roman doesn't need to win the Royal Rumble.
No.
We don't need to see Roman Cody right now again. I think eventually a third final match between them would be great. But we don't need it this year. That story's been kind of told. And so I got to go with Jey Uso. I think they're gonna throw a curveball.
Wow.
I don't think he's gonna challenge Cody. I think he'll go after Gunther. I mean, if he goes after Cody, great. But I don't think he can get an upper hand. And I think Cody's time is done as champion. Maybe after WrestleMania.
Okay.
To tell something different.
Okay. Just to set it all up, do you think The Rock comes into the Rumble this year? Maybe not as a participant, but maybe to screw over a certain tribal chief.
It could be.
And set up a match there.
It could be.
I don't think that will be. I don't think that's going to happen. But I think the bloodline will screw over the new bloodline.
See, that's the thing is I wonder if the bloodline business story is kind of done because after Roman beat what's his name, Solo.
Well, I'm thinking
it's interesting if
I'm thinking Jacob is going to screw him over, and what's going to happen is Jacob's going to be. It's going to end up being that Jacob was the entire time was The Rock's guy.
Okay.
And
I'm thinking Jacob getting Jacob Solo at WrestleMania 1-on-1.
Oh yeah, that could be a thing too.
And I think Jacob would just destroy him.
Just completely squash him.
Yeah, just.
And then you set up a Umaga heel.
An Umaga heel, yeah.
Is that what we're doing here? Umaga 2.0? That's what's happening?
I think, I don't know, like, as last year they were going to go with The Rock and Roman, or at least story-wise they were going to go with it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really like a rivalry match. They were kind of, on the same team, per se. So I don't necessarily think the Rock would come in and maybe screw Roman. I think that's just a way they would go.
Yeah.
Just like tribal chief versus.
I just think you have to set it up somehow, because right now they're literally on the same page.
Yeah.
So you have to have him screw him over somehow.
Yeah, you got to have the fans care about it.
Yeah. So you can't just we're just gonna do it for the shells. No, like there's got to be a reason for it, and he was just named the High Chief. Yeah. So
that's the other thing. It's got to be for a reason. There's always a reason for everything.
Yeah, So I don't know. There's way. I think it's formulating the way we think is kind of the obvious route. But who knows? Triple H is a different animal, man.
Yeah.
Like we never know. Speaking of the animal, Batista. No, I'm just kidding.
I think I'd like to see I know this goes against everything I've ever believed in before. I'd like to see CM Punk win it. I was never really a fan until recently. I think this last time that he came back, I was like, okay, he's pretty cool, you know?
Yeah.
But before, I wasn't. I guess I just didn't see enough of his work as for how good he really is at wrestling and at promos.
So CM Punk and then Gunther, but I mean it's obvious. I think it's turning into a CM Punk Seth.
No, if that's
storyline.
That's the other thing. I'd like to see CM Punk and Cody.
Oh, but who's the heel in that?
That's where I'm not. That's why I'm not a booker.
Yeah,
I just like to fantasy book this, but so I'd like to see him win it because he gets his WrestleMania main event finally.
Right.
But I think, you know, they were building this momentum with Jey Uso, making him relevant. I think he wins it.
Okay. I mean, he's like maybe not even in my top 5 of guys that can win it, but I just think it's lining up for Sammy, man. I just think I don't know why. I think it'd get a pop. I think it would be a great storyline for Mania. I think him and KO at Mania would be perfect.
Yeah.
You know, and
I don't hate that.
And you don't need the title, and it takes the title away from the main event and adds more intrigue to the card.
Yeah, I could see that.
You know what I mean?
And it's a different route, something different that WWE doesn't really do. They usually just push like the top stars to win it. I think, you know, it needs to be. This would treat it more as a real competition, like anybody could win.
Yeah.
And it would kind of change the stages for every Royal Rumble now. It's like, oh, if Sammy could win, anybody could win.
Yeah, seriously.
So I wouldn't mind that.
All right, so surprise entrances for the Rumble. Any guesses on this?
Surprise.
I think the one that everybody's been talking about, the obvious one, is Joe Hendry.
Yeah, Joe Hendry.
Like coming in with that TNA title, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
that'd be actually really fun.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
The one I want that we won't get is Brock.
Yeah, because I think more allegations just popped up recently, right? So, yeah, he might not. Dude, it's gonna be a while.
Yeah, we might not see him for a while.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while before we see him. But I mean, if Hulk Hogan keeps showing up, who knows, man?
I think he's done.
He might be. That was bad. That whole situation was bad, man.
Surprise.
I also think we could see a AJ Styles return.
Yeah.
Don't know where he's at health-wise, but he's been out for a while.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Rey Mysterio just to get a little spot with Penta for a while. You know, a little mask-on-mask action.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
And Penta throws him out, so just for fun.
By the way, I love Penta in WWE. Like his entrance, everything about him. Yeah. Love it. I think this really accelerates him. Like, I don't know. I mean, I watched him in AEW. I watched him in Lucha Underground. And for whatever reason, there it was cool. But he was kind of the same type of guy that everybody else was in terms of wrestling style. And I think in WWE, he sticks out a lot. And I think it just really elevates him.
Yeah, I think he's got good promo work, too.
Yeah.
Which, like, those mask guys usually, like the luchadors, kind of always struggle with that, besides Rey. I think that's what stuck out for Rey when he started was he was good with the promos. Yeah. And Penta seems to be like right up on there, especially with him crap talking Dominic. Yeah. So I think
that's fun. That's a fun one.
So if Rey shows up, I'm hoping to get like that Rey Penta spot.
There's gonna be spots in this. There's definitely gonna be spots in this. Who knows if Kofi being a heel now, there's gonna be a Kofi spot, but I don't even know if they're gonna they probably won't be in the Rumble. I don't know. There's a couple that I'm kind of Dolph Ziggler and Zack Ryder. Obviously, they're different names now. I think they you can see one of them with their new name, Matt Cardona or losing it here, Nick Nemeth.
Nick Nemeth.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'd love to see Zack Ryder.
Yeah, that'd be a fun one. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah. You know it. So there's a few options.
I'm assuming Randy Orton's coming back.
Yeah, Randy, which is a guy that a lot of people are picking to win. So who knows? But I don't know if that would be his third one for Randy if he
Would
wins.
it?
I think so. That's, are you gonna push that again? I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know if they do that, but yeah, you probably see Randy.
I'd love to see Santino.
Santino would be fun, man. Santino is always like,
because he's with TNA right now, right?
Yeah, he's like an executive something with them.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Kind of a waste of spot because I'm assuming it would just be a comedy spot.
Yeah,
maybe somewhere in the middle, give the guys a break.
I'm assuming like we're gonna see like Trick Williams.
Yeah,
guys like that from NXT.
I think it'll be more TNA and NXT guys more than like a
surprise,
like an old guy.
Yeah, I see that. So
I'd love to see Triple H, but
yeah, that's not happening.
I don't know if he'll might just flop over in the ring.
Yeah, I'd also love to see Eddie Guerrero, dude. It's not happening. Dude. So, yeah, that would be fun. The Penta, who was another guy who's I don't know if his contract's completely terminated, but he's not on TV with them anymore. Maybe the return of Aleister Black.
Oh yeah,
because he's there's a thing going around that he's no longer in AEW. I don't know if his contract's terminated though, so I don't know if it's a possibility. But so I guess he would go back to being Malachi Black.
Yeah, Malachi Black.
I just think he should just go with his indie name, Tommy End. I think it just sounds better. But yeah, so there we go. That's our hot predictions for the Royal Rumble and even Mania a little bit there. We might dive deeper into that later on.
Yeah.
But especially once we see what actually happens during the Rumble. But that's it's always the best time of year because you fantasy book. This is the fantasy book time of year for everybody. It's fun to do it. You start building the card for Mania, and
that's the best part.
The Rumble's usually the first step into that.
And it's a Vegas WrestleMania. It's got to be big.
It's gonna be huge, man. It's gonna be huge, especially with those ticket prices. So, yeah. I don't know if, even though we're 3 hours away, I'm not sure we're going to Mania this year.
I don't think we have the funds.
Oh, man. It's, it's not fun having no funds.
Yeah.
But, we're going to jump into the actual topic here, which is, our top five favorite wrestlers of all time.
All right.
We are very different in this.
We are.
We are. We've always had differences in opinions of what makes a great wrestler.
Yeah.
You're more traditional. I'm definitely more of the new age. So let's start off. Kick it off, dude. Who's your number 5, man?
Number 5?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I know I kind of reversed it on you there, but
I don't know if I'm going to go in a particular order, but the first one I'll name, the first one that sticks out the most, kind of what got me into wrestling, is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I started watching random Monday Night Raw, at my friend's house, and I was like, okay, this is cool.
Yeah.
This is for me. So, Forever Austin, and a classic T-shirt. I've probably had about 4 of them by now.
Yeah.
So I'll go with Stone Cold number 1.
All right, dude. It's a good pick. It's funny? Stone Cold's not in my top 5.
All right.
Which is, it's wild to say that. I do love Stone Cold, don't get me wrong.
I guess you don't like wrestling.
But I don't, but I don't really, there's certain guys, like certain wrestlers that I'll like connect to for whatever weird reason. My 5, I guess, is Kenny Omega.
All right.
Guy never set foot in WWE, so that's a wild one. I definitely love his New Japan stuff and AEW stuff. Not a lot of people, like traditional wrestling fans, I think would agree with me, but I just think he does a lot of cool stuff. I think some of his gimmicky entrances and like all that stuff, and he's obviously great in the ring. So,
yeah.
Like I think he's just a really cool overall wrestler, like full package type dude.
Yeah.
So who else you got?
Number 2. I'm gonna stick with some attitude era here. I mean, he did flip into other eras, but Kane.
That's a good one.
He would just, he never really needed a title. He was just always a monster.
Always stick him wherever you needed him, man.
He'd throw people out in the Royal Rumbles. He'd have good matches.
He's the Kike Hernandez of wrestling, baby.
And anytime DX was in the ring and that fire popped, everyone was scared. He just instilled that fear in people.
Yeah, man.
So Kane will be my number 2. Then.
That's a good pick because Kane's extremely underrated when talking about like a top 10 list and all that. I don't think people automatically go to Kane, but you can put him in any spot you wanted. Like kind of like a Big Show type of deal. Yeah. Like just put him in any spot you needed. You needed a heel, boom. You needed a face, boom. You needed a third guy in a title match, boom. You know, you needed a guy to hold the title for a bit. Here you go.
Yeah.
You know, he's a perfect dude. Like
good dude.
Yeah. For me, Mankind / Mick Foley, whatever you want it. Mankind though, specifically that gimmick. I loved that whole era of him and The Rock and him and Triple H. That was just, man, that was storytelling at its best, dude. And how do you not love Mick Foley, dude? You know, like just his personality plus what he does in the ring, wild.
Yeah, you know, give a lot back to the industry.
Yeah, he did. Put his body on the line, man. The guy can't even tie his shoes anymore, and you know, just to entertain us. So yeah, that's my 4.
All right. My 3 is a 3.
Yeah.
My 3 is kind of an obvious one. I've just always followed his career, and what he's doing now is The Rock. His comedy, his promos, you know, I still watch him to this day. I'll pull up YouTube. I'll watch his comedy work, you know, with Vicky Guerrero. And,
so,
you know,
some of the best.
Going back and forth with Stephanie back in the day.
Yeah. Just
making fun of everybody. He's just good. Maybe a little overrated overall.
Yeah.
But I mean, you think of The Rock, you think of wrestling, you know.
Yeah.
And it was just one of my childhood heroes, I guess you could say. And still follow him to this day. I'm wearing some of his stuff.
His stuff down. Yeah.
Some of his Under Armour stuff. But just, you know, just a good dude for the people, kind of guy.
Yeah, man. That's fun. That's fun stuff. Yeah, that's a good pick, man. He's obviously maybe the best of all time, one of the best of all times in there. You know, you can make the argument, you know, obviously. So, and to be honest, The Rock is the reason why I watched professional wrestling.
Yeah,
he is the sole reason I watch professional wrestling. So, I'll just name him here, even though he is not my 3rd. He's actually my number 1. But just to piggyback off you and everything you said, yeah, The Rock. Love The Rock.
You know, and for a few years, it was kind of like him just coming in and being himself. But what he did as, like, the final boss character, I was like, okay, there's
next level.
Yeah, it's
next level stuff.
It's just like, who could pull that off?
Yeah, there's not many.
So when I mean overrated, I just mean, like, they always just bring him in, you know, for, like, star power.
Yeah.
But for him to actually still be able to do it, like, that kind of gimmick and just go with it, just like a full heel.
There's always 2 guys that get massive pops no matter when they come back. It's The Rock and Stone Cold.
I mean, whether you're in the story or not, like, there's just no way around it.
Yeah,
that's why we all watch it.
They are encapsulating to its fullest potential in terms of wrestling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So who's your number 2?
My number 2, Brock Lesnar.
Ooh.
At this point, just probably the biggest monster of all time. Just
most dominant.
The most dominant. Yeah, just it was bad news when his music hits. No matter who you were, how big you were, it was bad news.
Yeah.
And he's got some legal troubles. You know, it's all right.
Yeah.
But as far as a wrestler,
I don't think
there's anyone more dominant than him. So.
Yeah.
You know, I've always just liked the guy. Have some T-shirts and.
I always think he's the ultimate guy that you needed in a big spot, like in terms of a dominant figure, like somebody's gonna put fear into you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, that's
no matter who it was.
Yeah.
If that music hits, it's like oh shit. Yeah.
Here we go. But that's a good one, man. My number 2, which is technically my number 3. And he's a guy that might be returning. I don't know if he is or not, but AJ Styles, dude.
Oh yeah.
Always love AJ Styles since I was. Just disclaimer: I was a TNA guy.
Yeah.
Big TNA dude. I loved watching like prime TNA in the early 2000s.
Yeah, we went to a show.
Yeah, we went to Bound for Glory in Irvine when they had it there when Christopher Daniels nearly killed himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild. But man, that was. That era he was so good in that era, even in what he's done in WWE and New Japan, and just able to transition into those companies and still be a top guy. Like AJ Styles has completely shattered his ceiling of what he can be as a wrestler, because he's a tiny guy and he's always been known as a cruiserweight type guy, but he's won the world title everywhere he's gone. He's been the main guy everywhere he's gone, at points. So I love AJ Styles. I always thought he was, he was just fun to watch.
Yeah, can't argue with that.
Yeah. Who's your number one? Because I think we have the same one.
Number one, I'm wearing the shirt right now. It's the OTC. Roman Reigns.
Then we don't have the same one.
That's it. It's the reason. I think why I still watch it. There's a lot of good wrestlers, and he wasn't always the best gimmicky wrestler, but this whole tribal chief stuff really took off.
Yeah.
And it fit him for who he is on his personal life too.
Yeah.
And the OTC.
I will say, I was definitely not a Roman Reigns fan.
He was not, yeah.
For the longest time. He has grown into the character, and he is fully, absolutely, I think he's dead on the best in the business right now. I don't even think there's a close second.
Who would have known you just had to turn him heel for a little bit?
Did I not always say that?
Yeah.
I always said you have to turn him heel. I think that's the only way you're gonna really get that character over. He should
have been heel from that moment. He got booed at the Royal Rumble.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, I don't like him as a face. He has to be a heel. It's the only way he's gonna get him over.
Take those contacts off.
Yep.
Take that vest off of him.
Yep.
Get some more tattoos on him, and you
get a little buffer.
And you got the next biggest.
Yeah, he's now getting to the point where he's getting towards number one of all time.
Yeah. So
which is wild to think.
I don't want to take anything away from your number one because I know who your number one is.
Who is my number one?
Who is your number one?
Do you know who my number one is?
Who's your number one?
Triple H.
Oh, Triple H.
Yeah. Who'd you think my number one was?
I thought you were going to say John Cena.
No.
Wow.
No.
I totally... Damn. That's a little disrespectful to Triple H.
Bro.
It's the biggest Attitude Era heel.
I will tell you why Triple H is on there.
You know what? I legitimately, as a kid, hated him. Triple H.
This is why I'm telling you. He brought emotions out in you as a wrestling fan, especially when you were a kid. I went to bed nearly crying on certain nights where he would screw over The Rock or whatever.
Man.
Bro, I hated him.
Judgment Day? Oh, man.
But he was also the most badass entrance of all time. Nobody wore the belt better than him. He has an aura that maybe only The Undertaker can match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, the respect that I have for Triple H overall, and now what he's done, and he's now the head figure of the WWE. Triple H, man, was the dude. He's never gonna get the credit because he was never a face like that, but he held that company together.
Probably the best heel.
He's the greatest heel of all time. It's not even close.
Because you think of the Attitude Era, the best faces was The Rock, Stone Cold. You don't think of that heel. Who's their heel? Who's their competition? Was Triple H. Triple
H is the man, dude.
Yeah, I totally forgot about naming him. I see him more as the owner now,
Yeah, but dude, Triple H was the man, dude.
He's definitely a top 5 guy.
And he put on matches. He was wherever, he was the ultimate package, dude.
Yeah. Well, my 2 honorable mentions are going to be Triple H and John Cena.
Yeah, Cena too.
Just 2 guys that I always liked watching. That's a good pick. That's a good number 1.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Triple H, dude. I don't think he gets enough respect for what he did in the ring.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
So let's go watch the Rumble.
That'll be the end of this episode of a really cool wrestling podcast. So we'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.